What is your biggest concern or question mark going into this season regarding this team?
I think it's got to be the rotation, particularly the rotation depth. Carlos Martinez is a terrific and number one starter, and I think they were hoping. Remember, the Cardinals, for all the frustrations that they had last year, missed the playoff by one game. Like they missed the wild card by one game. They just needed one more win to get there. As much as they frustration, and remember, if they'd have gotten there, you'd have had Carlos Martinez and Alex Reyes at the top of that rotation. That would have been very scary if you were to get that into a playoff scenario. So the top is fine. You got to be worried about the back end. Obviously, with Reyes being hurt, they weren't counting on Reyes this year, but there's no way you lose Alex Reyes and become a better team after that happens. So to me, you've got Adam Wainwright coming off the worst season of his career. If you see Adam Wainwright, he's jacked. He's like
Yeah.
totally gotten ripped. It's very odd to see. I don't, and so you've got him, you've got Michael Waka, you've got Lance Lynn, you've got Mike Leake. These are five people who have done it. Like, these guys all have shown in the past they've been able to be good starters. But they're coming off. Leak is coming off a rough year. A lot of that's because of the defense. Wainwright's coming off a year. Lynn missed all of last season. There's concerns. I don't. And Waka really struggled last year. If those guys can be their best selves, this could actually be a very solid rotation.
Mhm.
But they're very injury prone. A lot of them are getting older, and because of Reyes' injury, they don't have a lot of backup at the end of that rotation. That's the concern. Generally speaking, for all the talk of Fowler and Matt Carpenter and Carlos Beltran, all these people the Cardinals have had be offensive stars. The Cardinals do well and they succeed and they thrive when they have consistent pitching. And that I think is a concern. To be fair, I think it's also a concern for the Cubs. I think the biggest
Sure.
concern for the Cubs is their pitching depth, but the Cardinals don't have the lineup that the Cubs do to offset that. And I think the Cardinals have a good lineup, but the Cubs have a terrific lineup. The Cardinals need that rotation. That's been supposedly the Cardinals' strength is the idea. They've got that rotation. I think it's a little iffy without Reyes. If all those guys stay healthy, it'll work great. But they're pitchers. Pitchers never stay healthy.
Yeah. At least Walker had an outstanding spring, and
Mhm.
we'll see if that translates to success in the regular season. Lynn, I'm with you. That's a wild card of sorts because of the Tommy John surgery. But I do think
Yeah.
Mike Leake actually will do better in this second year under the contract. I don't know what happened, but he's been a Cubs and a Pirates killer in his past when he was with the Reds. I'm hopeful that he will return to that form this year in 2017. And then when you get to Adam Wainwright, I think he's probably the number 5 starter actually, and
Yeah.
by number 5, by baseball
Of
standards,
course.
that's not too bad to have a fifth starter
No.
named Adam Wainwright. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and a lot of this again is infield defense. That was the
Hmm.
frustration with Leak last year. The infield defense should be improved if they commit to Colton Wong at second base. But hey, that's a whole other discussion.
It really is. We don't have enough time, I don't think, at least not today. I do want to ask you though, before we let you go, where do you think the Cardinals finish in 2017?
They still look like a wild card team to me. I think that your wild card. I think there's four really good wild card contenders this year: the Cardinals, the Giants, the Mets, and frankly the Rockies. I think the Rockies are a
Ooh.
sleeper candidate this year. I think their offense is so terrific that they really just need average starting pitching, and they've got the potential for that. John Gray is actually a really nice pitcher. If he pitched
Hmm.
for another team other than Colorado, we would be talking about how terrific a young pitcher he was. So I think they're the sleeper teams there. I think those four teams are all solid wild card contenders. But it's strange to look at the National League and really in the American League as well. There's very obvious favorites in each of the 6 divisions where you almost feel like everyone else is fighting for the wild card. But I think the Cardinals are absolutely one of those teams. And if they get the pitching that I think they can and they need, I think they may even be the favorite for that wild card spot.
All right, I know, Will, you mentioned the Colorado Rockies. That's a surprise team. I actually like another team in that division to be the surprise team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They've got
Hmm.
sticks up and down that lineup, and if Zach Greinke can live up a little bit to that contract, and maybe because all the spotlight will be off them this year as opposed to last year when they supposedly won the offseason, who knows? Maybe they'll find success there, and I have a feeling they're going to put some runs on the board.
Yeah, I think just having AJ Pollock for the whole season makes them an instantly better team than what was going on
Yeah.
last year.